If you think you've got what it takes to be the next bright face on WBBZ, whether it's for commercials, programs, what have you, we've got the big talent search going on this Saturday, noon to 3 at the Eastern Hills Mall. Come on down, sign up. We've got a panel of celebrity judges, and we'll see if you've got the right stuff. Bob Kaczynski in studio with Jeremy White from GR550. We're talking Buffalo sports, Buffalo Bills. Now, let's turn to the Buffalo Sabres. Now, first thing, I guess I'll put you on the hot seat a little bit. Of course, GR is a flagship station for the Sabres, as it is for the Buffalo Bills. You have, Darcy Regier on in the morning, and you have Ted Black on in the morning. It's interesting to me that Ted Black basically takes hockey questions. After last year, he admitted Darcy doesn't work for him, and so I'm guessing if the GM of the team doesn't work for you, he probably doesn't come to you looking for advice on what to do on the ice. But
why does that happen?
Ted talks like he's running the hockey.
Well, I think that the reason that is because we have open phone lines during that segment. And the Buffalo Sabres, I think it's important to them that their fans know you can ask anything. And Ted is consistent. Like, this isn't just, the Wizard of Oz for, pull back the curtain. He says every time he comes in, every time he comes on, you don't need to screen the calls. I'll take absolutely any phone call.
To his credit.
Yeah, the hockey decisions are not my decisions, but if you want to ask anything in the world, you can ask it. So if a question comes through that's not necessarily his job, he's still going to take it back to the ownership, take it back to management, whatever. Just, it's important, I think, for the Sabres to be in touch with their fans and their fans in touch with them publicly. Every Thursday, 8 a.m., that's locked in because they want everyone to know, as mad as you are, they're listening.
Okay, so what's your take on the way the Buffalo Sabres are being run right now?
Well, I'm kind of caught between two things because for the last 3 years, I've wanted them to do exactly this. And the problem comes in at 82 games. Where I wanted this was 2 years ago and last year in the lockout-shortened season. When they trade Jason Pominville, I want them to also trade Thomas Vanek and Ryan Miller at the same time and not try to lose games, but I wanted them to pick first or second or third or fourth. What they're doing is amassing draft picks, which I think is actually a pretty good strategy. The problem is, as much as I'm about 4th and 1 in quarterback sneaks, my other thing is the top of the NHL draft. It's just like, it's guarantees. That's where great players are. You might not win the cup with those great players, but teams and franchises that have turned it around and picked up stars do it at the top of the draft. So I've wanted the Sabres to do this for a long time. And now they're doing it. Where do I go criticizing that? Granted, it's Darcy Regier that's made the decisions that have ultimately led them to powering down and doing this, and I think he should be held responsible. But the way that I would build it back up if I were the GM is to do exactly this. I would be gunning for a #1 pick at almost any cost because that's where the great players truly are.
Yeah, but they certainly seem to have issues with more. Right now, I think if you bring in one player, they still got a lot of other problems on that team.
Oh, sure, they do. But then again, Colorado got 3 guys at the top of the draft. And why are they good? They've got 3 forwards that were taken in the top 3. Most of these teams that are winning consistently, they build a culture. That's what people like to say. But what building a culture is finding a couple of guys that you can lock in. The reason the Pittsburgh Penguins are able to make trades that are a bit more daring than other teams is because they're never trading Crosby and Malkin. And the Blackhawks the same way. They trade Dustin Byfuglien away to Atlanta as part of a trade because they think, well, we've got Kane and we've got Taves. Let's keep those guys and build 20 other guys around those players. And I think if you get yourself into a spot where you can do that, everything else falls into place.
Well, and I can see where the Sabres think it's willing to more or less write off a season because their season ticket base is still very good.
And I am a season ticket holder. So, I say this not as a person who just goes in with a press pass and eats a bowl of macaroni and cheese. Like, I pay for my tickets. I split them with friends. They're expensive. It's not fun, but I will trade it. I will take it if we can get a player like Stamkos on the ice every night. Someone that I want to go see and watch every night. I think it's worth it.
It's been a while since I've been there as a reporter. Is that what they're serving now?
I don't know.
Pregame meal, mac and cheese?
I know there's definitely popcorn, and there used to be the cookies, pretty good cookies back
during
in the
the
day.
game. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is kind of inside baseball stuff, but if you were covering the games, you used to get kind of leftovers from the Odd Club. They'd put it out before you, so I don't know what they're putting out now. Change gears a little bit. You guys had Bobby Hurley on the show this morning. And, UB, everybody's excited about the football team, except for Jerry Sullivan. He doesn't think they've beaten anybody yet. But, they're bringing in a guy, and you guys talked this morning, he's been in documentaries, he was in the movie Blue Chips. Bobby Hurley was a superstar in the world of college basketball. If not for a tragic car accident, probably would have had a long career in the NBA. This guy, as far as name recognition, is about as good as you can get to bring in a guy who was a player to be your coach.
Absolutely, and especially name recognition when it comes to the recruits' parents. If you're a 16, 17-year-old kid, do you know Bobby Hurley? Maybe not, but your parents do.
Right.
And for me, yeah, that's my youth growing up watching college basketball is seeing Bobby Hurley. And talking to him today, it was fun learning off the air. One of the things we talked about, I asked him about Syracuse-Duke, the rivalry coming up, and he said Syracuse was in his top 5 schools. And immediately I thought, why didn't you pick Syracuse? And he had a good story where he didn't even want to go to Duke, didn't even want to go visit. And his mom made him go. Liked it, picked Duke. Ultimately, the decision was very late in the game. Like, he was thinking he wanted to stay around the city. He's from, the New York area. So it was an interesting story to hear, the decision that he made. And now to be here, I think it's a great thing. Absolutely fantastic, because name recognition, and not just in recruiting, but scheduling. You want to go play a big powerhouse school, and Bobby Hurley picks up the phone and makes a phone call. I think it's a lot different.
Right.
So I think it's a great move for the university. I think the buzz is definitely real.
Jeremy, we're out of time. Thanks so much for coming down. You can hear Jeremy every morning on GR550 with our old buddy Howard Simon.
Always.
I stress old.
We just celebrated our 9-year anniversary.
Wow.
9 years.
See, you don't look like you've been there for 9 years. Howard, on the other hand, I shouldn't say anything. Howard lost a lot of weight, and he's in great shape and doing well. Hey, we're going to be back to wrap up All Sports West New York right after this.